this is not one of my flutes, huh? This is a flute that my wife got me a couple years ago. It's a high spirits flute. Pretty traditional in its orientation. And this is what I played for a while. And, you know, it's a nice flute. High spirits flute. It's made of walnut. Listen. Now I did some changes to it. First of all, I had a leather across the sixth hole. Because, you know, don't play that one. You don't need to play that one. It's the same note. You get the note in there anyhow. So why I put the hole there? Huh? So I put a piece of tape across that to make sure that I don't have any fuzzy noises from that. And this block, I fiddled with the pipple a little bit, sharpened it up, and I took the leather that was on here, that was all tied on tight, and made it so that I could move it, flip it over, dry it out, clean it up. That's why I make them with the rubber bands on them. They're just a hair band. I got one in my hair. And you just set your pipple at the proper place, and this one now, it used to be about that far away from the ledge. Now I got to put it almost right on the ledge to get a nice clean tone. But it plays better than it was when I got it, because I've been fiddling with it. Now, you don't have to spend $100 on a flute. You can make them with plastic. I have one here. I'll show you how to make one. It's really simple. It's just a piece of plastic water pipe. See, I even leave this stuff on it. A coupler. When you have a coupler, it's got a ridge in the middle. You got to get rid of that ridge. Huh? I take a knife, cut it out. Then you need to make the holes, and this is a certain length. The bore of the flute to get an A is 12 and a half inches or so. And so you want one hole here, 12 and a half inches, and you want these to be spaced approximately like that, one finger here and one finger over, and set them up at about an inch apiece, a little over an inch maybe, and real tiny holes, real easy to play. Now the block between the two holes here, I use a dowel, a dowel with a piece of O-ring around it. You got to channel out for the O-ring. It's kind of like, see, channeled. You put the O-ring on there, and you stuff it down the tube until it's between these two places here. And it's pretty easy to do. You can make one just for fun, see if you can do it. Well, you can buy one of these. I'll sell them to you for $20. You have to pay the freight, though. I cut the coupler so that it slides off and on easy. And this spot here between the two holes, you've got to flatten that a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but it's flattened here. Sometimes you flatten it too much, huh? And you end up with a flute that hisses a lot. And this one was too much, and I added a little material, little wood shavings on there with super glue to get it back up. So it sounds like this, just a piece of plastic. This one's got a little hiss to it. Too much air. Let's see if this one's a better one. A little too little air. I got another one that's more A sharp for some reason. Here's one. See what it sounds like. Yeah, this was really hissy. Way too much air. But compare that to a nice flute, huh? Like this one. Holy plastic or holy wood? I prefer the wood. Here's a flute I made for my wife. It was supposed to be an F sharp, but it didn't want to be. I tuned it in at F sharp and it sounded pretty hard. The bass note was off. I couldn't, it just wouldn't work. And I kept cutting it down from F to F sharp to G sharp, A, and even A didn't work. It went to A sharp, and that's where it is right now. And there's a reason for that. The wood was speaking. It says A sharp. It was in the overblow the whole time. I'll explain about overblow, because if you overblow a flute, it's going to sound bizarre. Most people, when they first pick up one, that's the first thing they do is they overblow and they start dancing around with their fingers instead of just listening to the bass tone. Can't figure out how to move that. That bass tone, if it don't sound right to you, you just keep shortening the flute until you get the right bass tone. I don't have any holes in this when I tune them. And get the bass tone and then work from there. I really enjoy making the flutes because every one of them is different. The ones you buy, generally, like the one that I bought, or my wife bought, they try to make them all the same. And yeah, they do sound pretty much the same. It's the same notes. It's the same sequence of notes. You know, if you start at an A flute, like this one's A, then you skip the B, you go to C, D, E. This one's closer to F. And then you go to G, and then A again. So it's a skipping of notes that play well together. And it's so simple, all you've got to do is just be able to comfortably go up and down the scale. And just get used to it. Get your fingers so that you don't have to think about what you're doing with your fingers. Do it up here. But you first got to get to the point where you're playing it up and down the scale. And then you vary how fast you can do it. It's really simple. Slow at first. There's so many ways you can go up and down the scale that you shouldn't be bored with that, okay? And that's what seems to be the problem. Most people, they pick up a flute, they're bored with just practicing the scale, when the whole thing is about the scale, the pentatonic scale. It's so intuitive, you just gotta play it. Cover the holes and play. If you get a finger off, you'll get a fuzzy note. So I kind of play with my fingers so that I know where the holes are. Wiggle them around. Get them to where they're comfortable. Blow too hard on that bottom note. Don't let it stop you. If you blow too hard, you make a mistake, just keep playing. I don't have to think about my fingers. It just plays. Once you get them down and you know the scale, so what is there to know about a flute? They're really simple to make. They have a special quality. The wood makes a big difference. And people say, well, they're all the same. No. The spirit is in the wood, and it speaks. It's like the wind. It's whistling on my building right now. I've been listening to it. It's been blowing a long time here. I've been waiting for an evening or a morning when I could get out and play the flute outside. But it's been windy and windy and windy every single day. So that's why I'm in the shop here. And I surrounded myself with a few other carvings and things to let you know that this is not where I began. This is not what I wanted to be when I grow up. Huh? But I find it very pleasant to be here with this right now. It's a matter of being in the moment, playing your own song. I can't emphasize how important that is. You spend all your time listening to music. And the music is fine, but there's words that go along with it. And the words, that's where you got to be careful. Any musician will tell you, music is magic. It can create a spell on people. And we've got some spells being cast every day from the music industry. And but it's the music, but it's the words that go along with the music. Most people like the music for the music, not for the words. But the words go with it, so be careful out there. In the meantime, play your own song. You can get a flute from me. There's lots of flutes everywhere. You can go to High Spirits, get one. You can go to Laughing Crow. There's so many out there that make nice flutes. And it's simple to do. It's nothing hard. Everybody wants to make it seem more special. Then I show them one of these. Okay, holy plastic versus holy wood. Oh. And you know, I can't, every flute's different. I can't say that I have one that's perfect. No one has it. The perfect is not a thing to be looking for. It's not part of the game plan here. So I'm going to try, I'm going to take a break here, and then I'm going to make another segment showing some of my other flutes. And hopefully then we'll be able to get something rolling here. If you want something cheap and easy to try to play, you can get one out of PVC. Make one. You make one. You make one. You make one.